YN, seriously, Jimin and we have a connection that goes beyond the surface. He confessed his feelings to me, and it's tearing me apart to see him marry someone else. Please, for both our sakes, reconsider this. Kyungmi, intrigued by the unexpected revelation, tilts her head, studying YN with newfound interest. Kyungmi, smirking, so, you're the mysterious figure in Jimin's life. Quite the plot twist. But why should I believe you? YN, desperate to make Kyungmi understand, searches for the right words. YN, earnestly, I wouldn't be here if it weren't true. I'm not trying to ruin your day, I just can't stand by and watch Jimin make a decision he might regret. Kyungmi, weighing YN's words, finally breaks into a genuine smile, no longer amused but intrigued. Kyungmi, softening, well. This wedding just got a lot more interesting. Let's see. As YN and Kyungmi exchange tense glances, the room becomes a battleground of emotions, setting the stage for the revelation that could alter the course of the impending union. Kyungmi, seemingly entertained by the drama, decides to take matters into her own hands. She stands up, a mischievous glint in her eyes, and strides towards YN. Kyungmi, mocking, well, aren't you the dramatic one? Time for you to leave, sweetheart. Kyungmi attempts to push YN towards the door, but in the chaos of the moment, YN stumbles backward, accidentally knocking into a nearby vanity table. The impact sends a perfume bottle crashing to the floor, creating a loud noise that echoes through the room. YN, now feeling a mixture of embarrassment and urgency, realizes the situation is escalating beyond her control. YN, panicking, I didn't mean for this to happen. Please, Kyungmi, just listen to me. But Kyungmi, unamused by the turn of events, makes a swift move to grab YN's arm, intending to escort her out forcefully. As Kyungmi reaches out, YN instinctively reacts, attempting to free herself from Kyungmi's grip. In the struggle, Kyungmi loses her balance, and the two women collide. The impact sends Kyungmi stumbling backward, crashing into the edge of the bed. The room falls into an uneasy silence as Kyungmi lies on the floor, unconscious. YN, wide-eyed and stunned, realizes the unintended consequences of her desperate attempt to stop the wedding. YN, whispering to herself, what have I done? YN, trying to distract herself, flips through channels on the TV. The constant buzz of news and shows provides a temporary escape, but her thoughts keep drifting back to Jimin. She replays their moments together in her mind, seeking answers to the sudden change. YN, talking to herself, why did Jimin suddenly disappear after confessing his feelings? Did I misinterpret everything? Was it all a game to him? I thought he cared. As YN continues watching TV, a breaking news segment grabs her attention. The headline flashes on the screen. Youngest CEO of Park Enterprises, Park Jimin, is going to tie the knot with the heiress of Marin Group. YN freezes, her eyes widening in disbelief. She mumbles to herself, how can he marry someone when he just confessed his feelings to me? Was it all a lie? Or did I mean nothing to him? The news segment flashes on the screen, announcing Jimin's engagement, and YN freezes. Her heart sinks, and the weight of unshed tears builds in her eyes. The room feels suffocating, as if the walls themselves are closing in on her. Why does it hurt so much? He can marry anyone, right? YN whispers to herself, a futile attempt to convince her heart to be indifferent. As the reality of the situation settles in, YN exhales a shaky breath. She wrestles with the remote, finally turning off the TV. The room plunges into darkness, mirroring the shadows in her heart. YN lies down, staring at the ceiling, her eyes reflecting the myriad emotions swirling within. The vulnerability of her feelings clashes with the harsh truth of Jimin's choices. The silence of the room becomes a poignant symphony, playing the heartbreak that she can't articulate. In the solitude of her pain, Yn lets a tear escape, tracing a silent path down her cheek. The night stands witness to her shattered expectations and the bittersweet echoes of a confession that now feels like a cruel jest. The room becomes a haven for her solitude, echoing the silent sobs of a heart grappling with the agony of unrequited emotions. Next day. Yn, the weight of conflicting emotions heavy on her shoulders, descends the staircase to the living room. The scene that unfolds before her brings a sharp pang to her heart, Jimin, sitting intimately close to Kyungmi. The room seems to tighten around her, and she instinctively halts, caught between the desire to retreat and the curiosity to understand. Mrs. Park turns toward Yn with a welcoming smile. Yn, come meet Kyungmi. She'll be joining our family soon. The introduction feels like a bittersweet melody, a reminder of what could have been. Jimin, a silent spectator, merely nods in acknowledgement, his gaze avoidingYn's eyes. The unspoken words hang in the air, thick with unaddressed emotions. Mrs. Park, unaware of the complexities, insists, Kyungmi and Jimin are going to pick her wedding dress. Why don't you join them, Yn? It'll be a lovely day out. Yn hesitates, her eyes darting between the expectant faces. I appreciate the offer, but I have other commitments, she stammers, trying to mask the vulnerability beneath a facade of composure. However, Mrs. Park, with a warm smile, persuades her. Nonsense, dear. This is a special occasion. You should be a part of it. Kyungmi, her excitement undeterred, joins in. Yn, please come. I'd love your opinion on the dresses. DespiteYn's initial refusal, the insistence of the two women leaves her with little choice. Reluctantly, she agrees, her gaze briefly meeting Jimin's as if seeking an explanation. As Kyungmi steps aside to take a call, Kyungmi excuses herself, asking Jimin to join her outside. Yn remains seated, her internal turmoil palpable. Jimin rises from the couch, sparing a glance at Yn before addressing her in a hushed tone. No need to come with us. If you don't want to, no one will force you. His words linger in the air as a poignant acknowledgement of the unspoken tension between them. As Kyungmi and Jimin exit the house, Yn watches them from a distance, her conflicted emotions a turbulent sea within. Her gaze remains fixed on the doorway through which they departed, the faint sounds of their laughter echoing in the silent space. After a moment, Yn starts to follow Jimin. The chime of the shop's bell rings as Yn reluctantly follows Jimin and Kyungmi into the opulent luxury store. A poised lady at the entrance warmly welcomes them with a practiced smile, assuming the Jimin and Yn to be a couple embarking on the journey of wedding preparations. Lady, with a gracious smile, welcome. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. You make such a stunning couple. Yn, caught off guard, attempts to correct the misunderstanding, but before she can utter a word, the lady interrupts, her eyes scanning the trio with approval. Lady, enthusiastically, oh, don't be modest. You two look absolutely perfect together. Jimin, standing beside Yn, offers a small, almost imperceptible smirk at the situation. Kyungmi, reveling in the compliments, giggles and nudges Jimin playfully. Kyungmi, teasingly, looks like we're getting more congratulations, Jimin. Maybe we should just go with it. Yn, feeling increasingly uncomfortable, exchanges a subtle glance with Jimin, silently pleading for an escape from this awkward charade. The lady, interpreting their exchange as shared affection, continues to shower them with compliments. Lady, smiling, you must be so excited about the wedding. Let me show you some of our finest selections. As the lady leads them deeper into the store,Yn's mind races with a mix of disbelief and discomfort. The unexpected turn of events adds a layer of tension to the already complicated dynamics between the three. The luxurious gowns and suits on display become symbols of the intricate web of emotions tangling around them. Jimin, seemingly indifferent, casts a subtle glance at Yen, his eyes betraying a hint of amusement. Kyungmi, caught up in the excitement, turns to Yen with an innocent request. Kyungmi, oh, Yen, could you be a sweetheart and grab me a coffee from Starbucks? I'm dying for a caffeine fix. Yen, seeking an opportunity to distance herself from the elaborate facade, agrees with a forced smile. She excuses herself, glancing at Jimin, whose eyes momentarily meet hers. The unspoken tension lingers in the air as Yen steps out of the shop, heading towards the Starbucks located across the street. In Starbucks, Yen takes a moment to collect her thoughts. The whir of the coffee machines and the subdued chatter of patrons provide a stark contrast to the glamorous scene she left behind. Yen contemplates the unexpected role she's playing in Jimin's life and the intricate emotions that come with it. As she waits for the coffee order, Yen can't help but wonder about the dynamics between Jimin and Kyungmi. The complexities of the situation weigh heavily on her mind, and she contemplates her choices. The sound of the coffee machine hissing and the aroma of freshly ground beans fill the air as Yen prepares to return to the opulent world she momentarily is. In the span of a week, Yen finds herself overwhelmed by the tension in the house. The unspoken truths and emotional baggage become too much for her to bear, prompting a challenging decision. Yen, feeling the urgency, starts packing her things. Her frustration and determination echo in the words she mutters to herself. The room, once a refuge, now feels stifling. Driven by the need to regain control over her life, Yen decides to call Dr. Lee. Her voice reveals a mix of frustration and determination. Yen, on the phone, pacing, Dr. Lee, you have to talk to Mrs. Park. I can't stay here any longer. It's affecting my work, and I still want to come daily for Mr. Park's treatment. Dr. Lee, firmly, Yen, you took on this responsibility. Leaving abruptly won't solve anything. Be responsible, focus on your duties. We've entrusted you with Mr. Park's care, and you need to stick to that commitment. The conversation leaves Yen standing at a crossroads, torn between professional responsibilities and personal challenges. In the midst of the mansion's opulence, Yen gathers the courage to approach Mrs. Park and address her decision. Yen, nervously, Mrs. Park, I need to talk to you. Can we discuss something in private? Mrs. Park, her demeanor noticeably disturbed over the past weeks, agrees with a nod. The room becomes a space for the unspoken, tension lingering in the air. Yen, with hesitation, Mrs. Park, it's about my work. There's nothing personal, but I believe it's time for me to leave the mansion. I can continue Mr. Park's treatment on a daily basis. Mrs. Park, seemingly understanding more than Yen discloses, observes her carefully. There's a silent acknowledgement of the deeper undercurrents beneath the surface. Mrs. Park, softly, Yen, is there something more to this? You've been acting differently lately. Yen, maintaining a professional facade, brushes off the concern. Yen, lightly, no, Mrs. Park, it's genuinely just work-related. I assure you. Mrs. Park, after a moment of contemplation, addresses Yen's request. Mrs. Park, considerately, Yen, if you need to leave, I understand. However, could you stay for 2 more days? Attend Jimin's wedding before you go. Yen, taken aback by the unexpected invitation, manages a surprised response. Yen, shocked, wedding? It. But, Mrs. Park, I have an urgent matter to attend to. I can't stay. Mrs. Park, sensing the urgency in Yen's plea, reluctantly agrees and extends a formal invitation. Mrs. Park, nodding, I understand, Yen. Attend the wedding after 2 days, you're free to leave. I appreciate your dedication to Mr. Park's well-being. The upcoming wedding becomes an unforeseen element in Hwayeon's departure, adding a layer of complexity to her already conflicted emotions. On the grand wedding day, Hwayeon finds herself at a crossroads, torn between her commitment to leave Park Mansion and the compelling desire to attend Jimin's wedding. In her room, surrounded by the tangible evidence of her impending departure, Hwayeon contemplates her next move. Hwayeon, whispering to herself, to stay or to leave, that is the question. Should I go to the wedding and confront Jimin, or should I stick to my decision and leave this place? It's just a wedding, right? Why does it feel like everything is hanging in the balance? As Hwayeon looks towards her packed belongings, the weight of her internal struggle becomes palpable. The uncertainty of the situation casts a shadow over her emotions, making it challenging to discern the right path. Hwayeon, muttering, I can't let my feelings get in the way. It's his wedding day, and I should respect that. But what if I regret not speaking up? What if this is my only chance to change everything? The morning light filters through the window, casting a soft glow on the room as Hwayeon grapples with her thoughts. The clock ticks, counting down to the pivotal moment that will shape the trajectory of her relationship with Jimin. Determined to confront Jimin at the wedding venue, Hwayeon decides to take action. She looks at herself in the mirror, her reflection revealing the resolve in her eyes. Hwayeon, determined, no more running away. I have to go and stop him. As she hurries to leave, thoughts race through Hwayeon's mind. Hwayeon, thinking, what can I do to make him realize? How do I stop this without causing a scene? Glancing at the clock, Hwayeon quickens her pace, her determination fueling her steps. Hwayeon, muttering to herself, I'll figure out how to stop this on the way. I can't let him marry someone else. Not when he confessed his feelings to me. As Hwayeon arrives at the wedding venue, she swiftly locates the bride's room. The atmosphere is filled with the anticipation of the impending ceremony. Hwayeon takes a deep breath, steeling herself for the confrontation she's about to initiate. Inside the room, Kyungmi is seated in front of the mirror, the wedding dress laid out on the bed, a vision of bridal elegance. Hwayeon enters, closing the door behind her, and directs her plea to Kyungmi. Hwayeon, urgently, please, you can't marry Jimin. You have to call off the wedding. Kyungmi, catching a glimpse of Hwayeon's distress, smirks, amused by the unexpected intrusion. Kyungmi, mockingly, and who are you to decide that? Why should I listen to you? The tension in the room escalates as Hwayeon attempts to convey the seriousness of the situation, her emotions laid bare for Kyungmi to see. Hwayeon, undeterred by Kyungmi's dismissive attitude, takes a step closer, a mix of desperation and determination in her eyes. Hwayeon, pleading, I know it sounds crazy, but Jimin and I share a complicated history. There's something you need to know before you proceed with this wedding. Kyungmi, still smirking, leans back, seemingly enjoying the drama unfolding before her. Kyungmi, sarcastically, complicated history? How cliché. But go on, entertain me. Hwayeon hesitates for a moment, carefully choosing her words to convey the gravity of the situation without revealing too much. Hwayeon, seriously, Jimin and I, we have a connection that goes beyond the surface. He confessed his feelings to me, and it's tearing me apart to see him marry someone else. Please, for both our sakes, reconsider this. Kyungmi, intrigued by the unexpected revelation, tilts her head, studying Hwayeon with newfound interest. Kyungmi, smirking, so, you're the mysterious figure in Jimin's life. Quite the plot twist. But why should I believe you? Hwayeon, desperate to make Kyungmi understand, searches for the right words. Hwayeon, earnestly, I wouldn't be here if it weren't true. I'm not trying to ruin your day, I just can't stand by and watch Jimin make a decision he might regret. Kyungmi, softening, well. This wedding just got a lot more interesting. Let's see how Jimin reacts to this unexpected twist. As YN and Kyungmi exchange tense glances, the room becomes a battleground of emotions, setting the stage for the revelation that could alter the course of the impending union. Kyungmi, seemingly entertained by the drama, decides to take matters into her own hands. She stands up, a mischievous glint in her eyes, and strides towards YN. Kyungmi, mocking, "Well, aren't you the dramatic one? Time for you to leave, sweetheart." Kyungmi attempts to push YN towards the door, but in the chaos of the moment, YN stumbles backward, accidentally knocking into a nearby vanity table. The impact sends a perfume bottle crashing to the floor, creating a loud noise that echoes through the room. YN, now feeling a mixture of embarrassment and urgency, realizes the situation is escalating beyond her control. YN, panicking, "I didn't mean for this to happen. Please, Kyungmi, just listen to me." But Kyungmi, unamused by the turn of events, makes a swift move to grab YN's arm, intending to escort her out forcefully. As Kyungmi reaches out, YN instinctively reacts, attempting to free herself from Kyungmi's grip. In the struggle, Kyungmi loses her balance, and the two women collide. The impact sends Kyungmi stumbling backward, crashing into the edge of the bed. The room falls into an uneasy silence as Kyungmi lies on the floor, unconscious. YN, wide-eyed and stunned, realizes the unintended consequences of her desperate attempt to stop the wedding. YN, whispering to herself, "What have I done?" As YN stands there, torn between guilt and the urgency of the situation, the door creaks open, revealing Mrs. Park, who freezes at the sight before her. She steps into the room, assessing the situation with a knowing gaze. Mrs. Park, calmly, well. It seems we have a bit of a predicament here." YN, Mrs. Park, I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I just couldn't stand the thought of Jimin marrying someone else." Mrs. Park, with a compassionate smile, places a reassuring hand on YN's shoulder. Mrs. Park, "YN, my dear, I know. I've known about your feelings for Jimin for quite some time. And perhaps, it's time we address this situation differently." She takes a moment, gauging YN's response before continuing. "Mrs. Park, Kyungmi will be fine. I'll make sure she receives the care she needs. But now, I want you to get ready. Jimin is waiting for his bride, and that bride is you." YN, taken aback by Mrs. Park's revelation, looks at her with a mixture of surprise and disbelief. YN, whispering, "But, Mrs. Park, I can't." Mrs. Park, firmly, "YN, Jimin needs you. Kyungmi will be taken care of. This is your moment. Go to Jimin, and let's resolve this once and for all." As YN begins to change into the wedding gown, her hands tremble, and her thoughts race. The intricate lace and satin fabric seem to echo the complexity of her feelings. The air is thick with anticipation as YN looks at her reflection in the mirror, adorned in bridal attire. YN, whispering to herself, "What am I doing?" Mrs. Park enters the room, her eyes filled with a blend of understanding and encouragement. "Mrs. Park, YN, you look stunning." YN manages a hesitant smile, still grappling with the idea of becoming Jimin's bride. Mrs. Park offers her a small bouquet of delicate flowers. Mrs. Park, softly, "These were meant for Kyungmi, but I think they suit you just as well." YN takes the bouquet, its fragrance filling the room with a subtle sweetness. As Mrs. Park leads her towards the ceremony hall, YN's mind races with conflicting thoughts. The echoes of her own footsteps create a rhythmic cadence, mirroring the uncertainty in her heart. Mrs. Park, supportively, "You're doing the right thing, YN. Trust me." The pair reaches the entrance of the ceremony hall, and the soft glow of the lights beckons them forward. YN takes one last deep breath, summoning the strength to face the unexpected turn her life has taken. The ceremony hall is bathed in a warm glow, adorned with flowers and soft candlelight, creating an intimate ambience. The attendees are hushed, waiting in anticipation for the bride to make her entrance. As YN walks down the aisle, her steps measured yet uncertain, all eyes turn toward her. The delicate train of her gown follows her like a whisper, leaving a trail of emotions in its wake. Mrs. Park walks by her side, a pillar of support, and whispers words of reassurance. Mrs. Park, whispering, "You're stronger than you think, YN." YN nods, her gaze fixed straight ahead, yet her mind a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. The soft strains of a violin fill the air, adding a melancholic undertone to the moment. Jimin stands at the altar, dressed in a tailored suit, his eyes fixed on the entrance. Expecting to see Kyungmi, his expression morphs from sheer to excited disbelief as YN steps into view. The shock is evident in his eyes, a complex mixture of surprise and realization. Jimin, whispering to himself, "YN?" The guests exchange glances, murmuring softly at the unexpected turn of events. YN's footsteps echo in the hall as she walks toward Jimin, determined but apprehensive. The atmosphere becomes charged with an unspoken tension. The officiant begins the ceremony, and YN and Jimin stand facing each other. Mrs. Park gracefully steps back, leaving the couple to navigate the uncharted territory before them. Officiant, dearly beloved, we gather here today. As the officiant reaches the part where vows are exchanged, the weight of the moment hangs heavy in the air. YN and Jimin, bound by unforeseen circumstances, are forced to confront the truth that lingers beneath the surface of their relationship. Officiant, do you, Jimin, take YN to be your lawfully wedded wife? Jimin, his gaze locked onto YN, hesitates for a moment, then speaks. Jimin, softly, "I do." Officiant, do you, YN, take Jimin to be your lawfully wedded husband? YN, holding back her own uncertainty, takes a deep breath, and the room falls silent. YN, steadily, "I do." The officiant continues, prompting the exchange of vows. Officiant, Jimin, please share your vows. Jimin, YN, fate has a curious way of playing its cards. In this unexpected moment, I find myself standing here with you. I may not understand the intricacies of this path, but I promise to navigate it with you, to cherish the unexpected, and to be there for you in every twist and turn. YN, her heart pounding, takes her turn. YN, Jimin, life may lead us down unexpected paths, but in this moment, I vow to stand by your side. I promise to embrace the uncertainties, to find strength in our connection, and to face whatever challenges come our way with unwavering commitment. The couple, now officially wedded, walks back down the aisle, their intertwined destinies marked by the unexpected but undeniable connection they share. As Jimin and YN walk back down the aisle, the atmosphere in the room shifts from confusion to a mixture of surprise and admiration. Whispers ripple through the guests, who now regard the couple with a newfound respect. Jimin, reveling in the attention, leans in towards YN with a mischievous glint in his eyes. Jimin, whispering, "You're not going anywhere, Mrs. Park. You chose to come to Park Mansion, and now, you can't leave without my permission. Did you think I'd let you leave that easily?" YN, a blend of shock and realization on her face, looks at Jimin with a questioning gaze. YN, softly, "This was your plan all along?" Jimin, smirking, "Not exactly planned, but let's call it destiny taking an interesting turn." YN, caught between annoyance and amusement, rolls her eyes but can't suppress a smile. YN, playfully, "You enjoy playing games, don't you?" Jimin, grinning, "Life's a game, YN. And I just leveled up."